But yeah, just in your own words, just explain kind of what you're doing out here.
Well, since you're over there, I can take this off.
Sure.
You know, it dawned on me earlier that, and I might have mentioned it earlier, that if East Catholic High School would have played Weaver High School in Hartford, or Hartford Public, or Hill House in New Haven, or Public School in Bridgeport, and those black students decided, and brown students decided to call white students the C word, the H word, call them PWTs, spit on them, trash their belongings, threw water at them, those students would have been arrested for a hate crime. Those students would have been expelled. If the principal of one of those all black high schools in urban areas, in lower income areas, would have responded the way East Catholic High School's principal responded, they would have called for his resignation. If the Board of Education didn't ensure that that principal resigned, the people would have been making sure that those members of the Board of Education didn't get reelected or appointed to their seats. And so that's why we're out here. Because simply what we're saying is keep that same energy. We were already out here last year dealing with the two young ladies, and we were told is that we don't want to ruin their lives. We were also told that, you know, it didn't happen on school grounds. So now what's your excuse? I've been in contact with the mom. I'm going to support the mom. I'm going to support these girls. Not only are we going to show up to the football game at Lewis Mills High School on Friday in Burlington, but I'm going to be working with Montville High School, and I'm going to find a game where we can show up there in solidarity, cheering on the cheerleaders, validating their pain, validating their story, letting them know that they are not alone, letting them know that even though they don't have to, they showed up. Not only did they show up, but they spoke up, they stood up, and they powered up. And so I want to make sure that they know that this is activism. They could have simply just dealt with it, been traumatized, and gone to therapy and just turned the other cheek. But they said, no, this is wrong, and we're going to speak out about it. And they should be applauded. And somehow you have people who are driving by angry at me for speaking out against these atrocities. Instead of being angry at the two girls who made those videos last year, instead of being angry at the students for what they did, instead of being angry at the parents for allowing these students to do that, instead of being angry at the principal for his lack of accountability, they're mad at me for being out here making noise. They're mad at these young ladies for standing up for themselves. I'm confused. And so I was asked, do I want to sit down with the administrators? Absolutely not. For what? What more do we have to talk about? Didn't you see Selma? Didn't you read a Malcolm X book? Didn't you read a Martin Luther King book? Listen to a speech? I Have a Dream? You've heard it all. What do we need to sit down and talk for? What do we need to discuss? The only thing that needs to happen at this point is a call to action. And that's what Power CT is working on now. We're going to be drafting a call to action. We are going to be calling for not only for the principal to resign, we are going to also be calling for all the schools who play against East Catholic High School in all the sports to boycott by forfeiting their games. I don't care if it's soccer, baseball, volleyball, football, basketball, to boycott the games only against East Catholic. We're calling for the CIAC to hold the school accountable by saying that all your games, East Catholic, are suspended until the investigation is done and until those students are held accountable and their parents are held accountable. And then we're going to be calling for all of the schools in the state of Connecticut, all of the principals, the athletic directors, the Board of Education, to take a stand on the right side of history by saying we stand with these young girls, we stand against hate, we stand against racism. Enough is enough. I don't need to sit down with them and talk to them about shit. For what? There's nothing to talk about. I said what I said. I'm out here today to let them know that I got my eyes on you. I'm out here today to let these young girls know that you are not alone and that we believe you and that we support you and that we love you. I'm out here today to let them know that Black lives still fucking matter, period, end of discussion. That's why I'm here today. And that's why I'll be here tomorrow. And that's why I'll be at the football game on Friday.